against the Second Amendment. We support common sense gun laws. We want to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. We want to keep hands out of people that are on the no-fly list. We understand that that can be a flawed list, but we think it's better to keep families, people, voters, children safe. This is our job. We are here because we're mad. We are here because when you don't know what to do about something, you just get started. That's what we're doing. We are taking back our country. This is a citizen uprising. We are here to get the job done. So join me and say that this is enough. Goodbye, Faso. And everybody, the most important thing you can do is vote. But I can see that you're here today, and everybody can do a little more. And if we all just do a little more, we have the power to move mountains. We can do this. We can move forward together. So thank you all for coming today. Let's do it. You can sign up today with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Let your voice be heard. We're going to Albany on March 21st. I'll see you there.
How many more kids are gonna have to die before a change in this country happens? Like, you know, like, I mean, 17 there, like kids, like these are lives we're talking about. These aren't just things, you know, like this is precious life and it's being lost and no one's doing anything about it and it's pissing me off and I want change now.
Well, and tell them how you don't feel safe.
I walked into school with high anxiety on Thursday. I did not feel safe going to school. I mean, safety should be a given when I'm trying to get my education as a student, you know? And it's no longer a given. I no longer feel safe going to school. So, because I mean, in Florida, that was considered one of the safest towns in Florida, right? I mean, same could be said about New Paltz, right? Nothing happens in New Paltz until something does, right? So, that's what I wanted to say.
Thanks.
It's not shocking, and that's what's so sad. It keeps happening, and we can't give up. I think that God, after Sandy Hook, that nothing substantial happened is a real sad indictment of the country and the NRA and the Republican leadership, and they need to do better. And you know, they aren't going to, so we're going to vote them all out.
We used to live under the assault weapons ban, you know, and I think that we've had an increase in school shootings since it was allowed to expire. So I think it's time to revisit that. And I'm tired of the GOP's policies that have been hurting my family and families like mine. And we're not going to take it. We're going to fight back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Listen, my name is Antonio Delgado, for those who don't know, and I am running to unseat Mr. John Faso. Yes, indeed. And as you can tell, Mr. John Faso, as is the case often, when we need people to step up and be a voice of reason, when we need people to speak out and speak to our values, he seems to be nowhere to be found. Well, I'm here, and I'm here to give voice to what we know ought to be done in times like these. We are all on the same page when it comes to dealing with the problem of gun violence. Whether you are a Republican, a Democrat, a moderate, an independent, the vast majority of Americans in this country want to close the gun show loophole, want background checks, want the CDC to study gun violence, do not want folks who are on the no-fly list to be able to purchase guns, and want to be able to ban the bump stock. These are things that Americans all across this country and in the Hudson Valley and the Catskills want. And yet we have no movement whatsoever. None. And we have no movement on these issues, not because the will, yes sir, not because the will of the people is not clear, but because the will of our political leaders is nowhere to be found.
That's right.
We have folks in Congress right now who in the dark of night, in quiet, without anybody being fully aware, Faso included, and almost every single member of the Republican House Congress said we're going to roll back an Obama-era protection to make sure that folks who are mentally unstable and unfit cannot purchase guns. That bill would have made sure we have 75,000 folks who we know should not be carrying arms prevented from doing so. They rolled back that legislation. And this was in December, if I'm not mistaken, after Vegas. Okay, so we have folks who are operating right now completely at odds with our values and where we stand on every issue. And it is imperative that we use every opportunity to speak out and be heard. And you better believe that as your congressman, I will be out every single day. Every single moment. Not to divide, not to take sides on one issue versus another, but to find ways to bring us together, to find common ground, and get back to common sense. We know we have a problem of gun violence. We know it, and it is time that we deal with it, and that we step up and put people in office who will be a voice for reason, who will be a voice for change, who will be a voice for decency and dignity and respect for human life. Our children, their lives are too valuable.
Yeah, that's right.
Our future is too valuable to let this keep happening. Let's step up now and continue, and not just step up when it happens. Step up every day. Every day, have a sign. Every day, speak out on every issue. I stand with you. Yes, honk those horns. Honk them. I stand with you now. I stand with you every single day here on, and together we will make a difference here. We will.